words, I guess. Yeah, I think they're kind of really important for communication and stuff. Like they're pretty and yeah, just words, words. What readest thou, my lord? Words, words, words. What is the matter, my lord? Between whom? I mean the matter that you read. Oh, slander, sir. For this satirical rogue says that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, and that they have a most plentiful lack of wit. Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 2. Are you listening? Good. What are you hearing? Vibrations. Vibrations are formed in my throat and come out my mouth. They travel through the air and your ear collects them. Your ear duplicates them. Then they become electric. Your brain interprets these electrical signals as images, as ideas. Ideas like in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things are made by Him, and without Him, the Word, nothing is made that has been made. Words are music. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. My words were simple and few. Mama, Dada, love you. When I was a child, I began to read. And I noticed the sounds of words, and I paid great attention to make sure that the words were correct. You see, is the Tower of Babel or the Tower of Babel? Pronunciation is the key, like the key of a song. Get it wrong and the melody is marred. Remember that it is the Arctic Sea. It is antennae, not antennae, and it is rhetoric. When I became older, I put away childish things. I began to fall in love with poetry and the ideas of sound. You see, words make rhythms. Poetry is formed with emphasis and rhyme, assonance and time. The sounds can sound like the object they represent, like hiss, or be made of other meanings mashed together, like anti-disestablishmentarianism. Sounds can be round like round or sharp like snip, tired like analogous, or fast like quip. And the silence is just as important as the sound. You see, music is defined as the mixture of sound and silence with rhythm. We don't have to fill our space with pointless words like, you know. Learn to relish the pause. And on the seventh day, God rested. But before that, God spoke, making new words, making new things. Adam named the animals new words for new things. Christ, the Word, makes our lives new. And when He returns, He will speak, and all things will be made beautiful, and all things will be made new. You see, words are also faith. When I was older, I put away childish things. Listen to Poe's words rapping on the eardrum's door, simply words and nothing more, but so much more. You see, the sound of the word combined with the mental image it creates makes something akin to a soundtrack in a movie. It's a powerful experience. My favorite book is Perelandra by C.S. Lewis, and at the very end of the book, the main character is taken to this field of red flowers, and there are mountains that stretch incredibly high, and the sky is like copper metal, and sounds come up from the valley that are like songs, but are like cellos at the same time, and it was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. But I have not seen. Words are faith. Words are also faith because they tell truth. Another book, Dorian Gray, has this metaphor of a character whose sins are taken onto this image, similar to how our sins are placed upon Christ, and he continues to live in sin. And when I read that, I was convicted more so than I was convicted by a lot of scripture, and I said, oh my goodness, that is talking about me. And so I began to read, and I began to write, and I began to create poetry. Ravens. 4 ink blots on a lead west sky, sliding down the metal, dripping to the earth. Odin holds his stormy sun at bay. Wonder takes nothing for granted. I've never seen birds on a cloudy day. I've only seen the omens of the gods. Words, words, words. Without words, we have nothing. 1984, chapter 5. Don't you see that the whole aim of Newspeak is to narrow the range of thought? Has it ever occurred to you, Winston, that by the year 2050, at the very latest, not a single human being will be alive who can understand the very conversation we are having now? The whole climate of thought will be different. In fact, there will be no thought as we know it. The vocabulary of the people around you Create an environment for your thoughts. Hang around people who constantly use profanity and your thoughts will turn negative. Be around someone who uses academic speech. You will either, 1, try to escape from those thoughts, or 2, your level of thought will be heightened. You see, vocabulary reduction ain't good. Abbreviation is not totes legit. The Oxford English Dictionary lists over 500,000 words. The average college student possesses at most a vocabulary of around 2,000 words. And every year, hundreds of words are taken out of our language. A humorous example is from a British study which surveyed 2,000 adults. They found that less than 10% use the word bogus. 70% don't use the word shenanigans. And another 75% don't even use the word diabolical. But really, why? Why must the old words always die to make way for the new? Why do the old songs fade, the complexity diminish, the symphony of language become a chorus of yeah, baby, all right, yeah, baby, all right? Why? Why is the cathedral becoming a toddler's woodblock house? When I was a child, I spoke as a child. When I was older, I put away childish things. So remember the words. Remember lambent, which means glowing. Remember kexi, which means brittle or withered. Remember paracosm, which is a child's complex fantasy world. Remember crepuscular, which is pertaining to dusk or twilight. Remember eldritch, which is eerie or spooky. Remember petrichor, which is the scent of dust after rain. Remember wherefore, which is not where, but why. Remember philology, which is the study of words. And remember words, which are the building blocks of the universe. Words, words, words.